Okay, so now we have come to the last lesson for the foot. So we're going to now finish up the surface anatomy for all these toes over here. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we select on the figure and do tab to go into edit mode and A to D select. I'm just going to zoom out to show you that over here in the previous lesson in the modifier, we have this turned off. Okay, so I'm just going to click this on to show you that this is where this is. We can also do Alt H to bring the entire figure back over here. Okay, and now let's go ahead and just zoom in over here. So what we want to do first is we need to create edge loops over here. We're going to add an edge loop over here, 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 and here. We're just going to do Control R, left click, and then right click. So do the same thing on all of these, same exact method, just like this. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the face select mode and click on these faces. So I'm going to first show you something over here. So if I do, if I right click this face, do shift key down, I'm going to have to click on these. So you can see that I use 4 mouse clicks. So I have to do the same thing on all of these, select them in this way, just like this. Okay. So that's quite a bit of work. So the other thing that you can do in Blender is if you just click on this face, shift key down, this one, this one, this one, you can just press the Control and plus sign. And what this will do is simply add to the selection the edges around it. Okay, so now you can do a C and deselect this. Okay, and this is a faster way of doing it. Now I'm just going to do A to deselect and show you this one more time. So if I click on this again, now notice that when I do the plus sign, what exactly is it selecting? If you do Control plus, you can see that it's selecting all the faces around it. Now if I do plus sign again, just keep clicking it, you'll see that it'll just keep adding to the selection until it selects the whole figure. Now if you do Control minus sign, you'll see that it starts to deselect, but it comes back in a different pattern. See, this is not how we had originally selected this. So just keep that in mind as to how this concept works. So really, if you think about it, if I click on this, that's 1 mouse click, 2, 3, 4, and just do the plus sign, 1, and then just do the middle mouse button, right? This was way faster. Okay, so that's that concept. With the Control plus, you can select vertices and edges too. So now what we're going to do is start to make the nails for these fingers first. So we're going to do E to extrude and right click to get out of it. Do W smooth 1 and 2. Okay, and then let's just do A to deselect. Next thing that we want to do is add an edge loop over here, right, to bring out the nails. So we're going to do Control R, left click, and right click. Now notice that how we are controlling the topology over here. We're not overdoing it to create these nails over here. Okay, just like when we did the lips, we used that same technique, not overdoing it. Okay, next thing what we want to do is we're just going to rotate over here, and what we need to do is get this little edge over here, these guys, and we have to do this on all of them. The shift key down, click on this one, just pan it over here, click on this, remember shift middle mouse button to pan. Now we're just going to zoom out over here and just do W smooth 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and click on this over here, these edges, this one over here, go to the right view. We're going to bring up the skin fold. So I'm going to repeat this process 2 times, and again the reason for this is because of how the smoothing works. We know that when we move something and we smooth it, it kind of goes back to the same place just a little further. So if you do it 2 times, it'll be just a little extra further. So we're just going to move this up, go 1, 2, do W smooth, move it up, 1, 2, W smooth, and just going to click on this W smooth over here and just bring this up 1 time. Now if you do tab, you can see that what we did is just create these top skin folds over here. Okay, now do tab to go back into edit mode. So all we have to do is now select on these edges just like this over here and just do W smooth 1 and then 2. Now if you do tab, you can start to see how we're starting to get this idea for the nails. Now do tab and A to deselect everything. So the next thing that we're going to do is what we have to do is actually bring out this section over here, because the skin has to fold around the smaller toes. So click on this vertex select mode, click on this vertex, rotate over here, and click on these two vertices. Now just do one. You'll see that the finger is going in this way. So what I'd like to do is just position this in the middle and do the middle mouse button and just rotate it like this, and you can tilt it over here. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be this way. Just do the S key to scale and do 1 and then 2, and then left click to confirm. So we're going to do the same thing on all of these guys over here. We're just going to fatten up this section over here where the nail is. S to scale, 1 and then 2, and then click on these two guys over here, just like this. Do the same thing, scale 1 and then 2. Now we're not going to touch the small pinky toe over here. Next thing that you want to do is you're going to click on these vertices over here. Now the reason we're doing this is because this is again the bone structure over here. So if you do W and smooth, it'll just put a depression over here. If I do tab just to show you this is what's going on over here. Okay, A to D select. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the top view over here. Now what we need to do is actually bring out these two vertices over here and the same section over here. So go to the top view. Just do scale 1 and then 2, right? So it'll start to create this bony area over here, and this will be a slight depression in here. Let's do the same thing on this finger. Same thing, go to your top view by pressing 7 and then press S key to scale 1 and then 2. Now on this one, we don't have to do that. We only have to click on this one and this one. Go to the top view, scale 1 and then 2, right? Because it already has the shape. A to D select. Next, go ahead and click on, go to the right view actually, and just rotate it like this. Click on these two faces, press 3 to go to the right view. Just bring it up one time and just do W smooth. And then you're going to click on this one, bring it down one time, click on this one, and just bring it out one time over here. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the tab and over here just to show you what we need to do now is bring out these nails over here, right? So I'm going to show you what we're talking about. So I'm going to click on the edge select mode and just click on these two edges first, just to show you how this is going to work. We're going to take this to the left 1, 2, and we're going to bring this down. If you do tab, you can see that what it does, it creates this shadow for underneath of the nail, just like this. Okay, so we can do the same thing over here by clicking on these two edges, not this one, and do the same thing over here. Go to the right view. We're just going to take this up one time and go 1, 2, bring this down 1 and then 2. Press the C key to deselect this, right click to get out of it, and just bring this down one time. Next, there's a lot of pressure building up underneath, so just click on these edges, click on this one too, and just bring this down 1 and then 2. So you'll see that it fixes that area. Next, we're just going to click on this, and we're just going to bring this down over here, W and then smooth to bring it in a little bit. Now if you do tab, you'll start to see that what we get is this really nice depression over here underneath the toes. Okay, so now before we move on, let me just show you what's going on over here. If you take a look at this, so notice that when we were creating or really moving these edges, we're really doing them at a micro level, because if you think about it, look how zoomed in we are on the figure. Okay, so if I do tab just to show you, I'm going to A to deselect everything to get rid of that orange outline. Notice how small these details are. So now I'm going to start to zoom out just to show you how small that detail is compared to the whole figure. Okay, the reason I'm bringing this up is that if I select this figure and do tab, remember when we were moving the vertices and edges and then clicking on W and using the smooth function, those movements were being done at a very large scale. Okay, and then when we started to move in over here, we were doing the same thing, and it seems as if it's actually doing the same behavior at the same scale level. But that's not true, right? Because it seems that way, but it's really doing it at a micro level. The reason I'm bringing this up is this is what you have to get used to in your mind. is that you have to be aware of where exactly are you in your model, right? So if we are zoomed in, when we are making these movements, sometimes they feel like we're making exaggerated movements, or maybe the movements are too big. But when you do tab and then zoom out, then you'll start to see that really you were making these movements at a micro level, right? So this is something that you'll start to get used to when you start creating more and more 3D models, as to how those two concepts relate to each other. Okay, so Blender takes care of the movements and the scale level that you're on, and basically when you do the W smooth, or really just move your vertices, it assumes that you understand that you are at a smaller level. So meaning that a small movement, a small micro movement is going to go a long way in designing your character. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you are aware of that concept. This is something that you want to start thinking about when you are getting more and more deeper into your 3D character design. Well, this is the stuff that you will start thinking about when you're doing this stuff. Anyways, what we're going to do now is go ahead and look at the bottom of the foot. So I'm just going to go back to edit mode, A to select, and A to deselect everything. So what we're going to do now is create the surface anatomy for the bottom area over here for the toes. So what you want to do is click on this face over here. See where this is over here, this junction? You're going to click on this one. Shift key down, this one over here, and this one, and also this one. We're going to do Control A one time to rotate it this way. Now do middle mouse button to rotate it over here. Now you can see that this edge over here, this is the V shape, and this tells us just select on this, shift key down, this one, and over here this one, right? Notice where this is. Okay, now do Control A 1 and then 2 to rotate it this way. Now we're going to add some edge loops over here. Control R, left click and right click, Control R, left click, right click, and do the same thing on this over here and this one over here. Now we're going to click on this edge, do Control A one time, click on this one. We're basically putting it back the way it was. Click on this and this one. Now rotate it this way and click on this and do Control A1, 2. Click on this one, do Control A1, 2. Click on this one, Control A1, 2. This one, Control A1, and then 2. Now we're going to rotate this, Control A1 and then 2. So it needs to be rotated where you get this pattern over here. Same thing, Control A1, 2. Control A1, 2. This one over here, Control A1 and then 2. Okay. Now we're going to rotate it this way and do the same thing. Click on this. You only have to do this one time over here, then Control A, and then Control A. Okay, now that we have this position, we're going to click on these edges over here in this pattern. Notice where I'm selecting these edges. We're not going to select anything on the small one over here. So, okay, so I'm going to do Control. See that? Click on this one, and this one. I'm just going to show you what I just selected. See this? It's hard to see this one over here, but this is what I'm selecting over here. Now just do W smooth 1, 2, and 3, and 4. A to deselect. And if you do tab, you can see that what we're doing is just making this more rounder and starting to create the bottom area over here. What we're going to do now is go ahead and select on this edge, and this edge. I'm going to press the 7 key and then the 9 key to go to the bottom view, to zoom out. So we're going to bring this down 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Then shift key down, click on these edges, but add them to the selection and bring it out 1, 2, 3. Then click on the face select mode, click on these faces over here. Take it to the left one time, just going to do W and then smooth and then do tab. And you'll see that what it does, it creates this nice circular motion over here, or the circular form for the bottom of the toe area, right? So when these touch the floor, this is the shape they will start to take. Let's go ahead and do A to deselect everything and come over here. All we have to do is really just select on these two edges, do W and then smooth, and then click on this. Now do 7 and then 9 to go into your bottom view and just bring it out 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Do tab and you'll start to get this same concept, the same idea. And now we can go ahead and select on the face select mode and click on W and then just smooth it over here. Click on this face over here and do smooth, bring it down, and then just select these to bring it down over here. We don't really have to do too much over here. Now we're just going to select on this over here, go to the right view and just bring this out one time over here to get that motion, and then click on these guys over here. I'm sorry, not this one, this face over here. It needs to be these faces over here. I'm just going to do W smooth 1 and then 2, and this will now make this a nice shape over here, right? Okay, next we're going to do tab and just click on this and do W and then smooth to bring this in. Okay, so now if you take a look, what we've done is finished all the toes for all the surface anatomy for all these toes. Lastly, what we're going to do is go back into edit mode, A to D select, and we're now going to smooth these two concepts in W and then smooth it one time over here so it's not that exaggerated. And you can actually click on this one more time, do W smooth to bring it in one more. Okay, now lastly, I'm going to come in here. We're going to take a look at this edge over here. We're going to do Control A one time like this and do tab. So you'll see what it does. It now gives us this foot over here, this depression for the arc. So then we're going to do tab and just click on this, and if you do just roll it over here, you can just do W smooth 1 2 3 4. It'll just make it go in. A to D select. Okay, so we've now completed everything that we want to on the fourth. We're going to do tab, and I'm just going to do A to D select to get rid of this orange outline. I just want to show you that over here, if you come under display, it's also over here, like if you want to show the outline for the selected. Okay, but over here I'm just going to do A to D select to make this a little quicker. So you can see that what we've done now is completed all the surface anatomy for the foot over here. Okay, now I'm just going to do tab again one more time just to show you that we're going to click on this edge over here. I'm going to do period key to zoom in, so it clicks on this, and just going to click on this one and this one. Now before we do anything, if you do tab, just to show you that, see how these are curving in this direction, they're going in this angle. So if you do click on this and just take it to the left, 1 and then 2, and now look at it from this direction, you'll see that it just fattens them up from here. Okay, well, we're just going to do A to D select. Let's do tab to go into solid view and click on this, and let's go ahead and look at the rendered part of this, and I'm just going to zoom in to show you what this looks like, right? So now what you have is the completed foot with the surface anatomy. So let's do 1 and just zoom out over here. Let's see what we have. Okay, so this is the front view. I'm just going to do Shift C to put that 3D cursor right smack in the middle. Over here, just do Control and middle mouse button and just position it nicely over here. Just like this. Look at it from the right. Control 1, the back view. Now I'm just going to go into solid view. Look at this from the front. Get rid of this, right? From the right view over here, I'm staring over here, and then do this one over here. Okay, so now we've completed this section over here. So in the next lesson, we'll now start to move on into the hands. So I'm just going to leave this at rendered over here. Click this, and finally do the final save on lesson 13, which is shows over here, file, and then save. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.